Aries, welcome. Welcome back. If you're returning, this is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot, and this is your weekly read. It's replacement sun, moon, or rising. It is a general reading. So we're using the Light Seer's Tarot. We're using the Linestrider Tarot for some clarifying cards this week. And we'll do a Sacred Destiny Oracle card to finish off. So let's see what we have for you. The initial sort of meditation before the readings brought forward a message from Spirit that we're kind of focusing on for all of the signs this week about mirror people in our lives. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we have someone in our life and the way they're behaving, the choices they're making, it's really irritating to us. And more often than not, when we feel that irritation, it is our subconscious allowing us, in our judgment of that other person, to see where we need to do some work on ourselves. And that's sort of where we're at. We're kind of focusing on that this week. So in looking at your cards, I'll be asking, is there someone in your life that you're seeing things play out a certain way with, and you're judging it, you're noticing it, it's irritating you, you think they should do it differently. That's our teacher. That's where we're going for our lessons now, and trying to see where something about their dynamic is playing out in our life too. I have allergies and my throat's getting really raw, so I'm just going to be drinking some water while we're reading today. Let's see what we have for you, Aries. 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, the Moon, 10 of Cups. So there's someone in your life that's feeling kind of left out, feeling like they're never included, feeling like they're shut out of the conversation. And in reality, when people do approach them, they just sort of act not interested, apathetic, just sort of like, whatever. So when in their perception, they're not being offered access, they're not being included, they're not being reached out to by friends. And then in reality, when friends do reach out, they are not really all that excited about it. It's like they want to be included, but then when some people try to include them, those aren't the right people. So they're a little choosy about, they feel lonely, but then when people try to be their friend, those aren't the right people. Those aren't the ones they wanted to reach out to them. So they stay in this mode of kind of victim mentality of being isolated and excluded. But when relationships come to them, people come to them wanting to be in relationship with them, they don't really react in a grateful way that something is being served by, for them, there's something more appealing about feeling like the outcast than by actually being welcomed as a friend by people who want to be their friend. And it feels like there's a missing piece of the puzzle, of the plan. They don't know how to get to this place of emotional fulfillment. They don't know how. It's not that they're not aware that some people are trying to connect with them, right? It's just that it doesn't feel, it's not what they want to feel. These aren't the people they want to connect with. This isn't the experience they want to have. And they don't know how to get to that feeling of emotional fulfillment with the people that are around them, instead of identifying somehow as an outsider, saying they want this, but when this shows up, it's not the right type, it doesn't fit well, it's not the right person, nothing is quite enough to get them out of this headspace. And because of our focus this week, I want to ask you, where in your life is this you? Where in your life are you saying, I'm upset because I don't have X, and then when X arrives, it's not quite right. It doesn't fit all the criteria. It doesn't make you satisfied because it's not exactly and precisely what you asked for. And because of that, you stay here. So this could be relationship-wise. This could be someone who feels left out of a group of friends. Other people want to be their friends, but that's not feeling right. So they stay in this energy and they just don't know how to get to a place where they can be grateful and fulfilled by what is in their life. Could be relationships, could be a job, could be any aspect, really. So where are you seeing someone in your life who's like this? They say they want, they want this thing, and then when something of that type shows up, they still stay here, feeling isolated, feeling, lacking in resource, even though there's resource right on their doorstep, because it's not the one they asked for. It's not the one they think they're supposed to have. That's kind of the general message, Aries, and I want to see now if we get any clarifying cards for you. This seems to be the issue, and I'm sure we're all like this to some extent. We want what we want, and then we put all kinds of criteria around it so that we can never actually get it. We can never be fulfilled because it's easier to stay in that space of being the victim. All right, we have here another 10 of Cups. Really a strong focus for you, Aries, on emotional fulfillment. We have the Queen of Swords, the Hierophant, Justice, Knight of Swords, Ace of Cups. So it's almost as if that emotional connection is offering itself to you. The thing that you say you really want that is missing from your life, the thing you feel excluded from, that emotional connection is on offer. And it does lead to emotional fulfillment. Happy ever after, right? But between there, you have Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, Justice that has a sword. There's so much overthinking, so much influence by what should be done. All the shoulds in the world, that's what sinks us every time. And there are so many people willing to give them to us. And it's really interesting because there are 2 keys on this card, and I'm seeing the key here in this card. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a key standing there. That's another aspect of this 5 of Pentacles, is that the thing you feel shut out from, you have the key. You're just not noticing it. You're not seeing what is right there. You could go have what you want, but you're keeping yourself from it because you're staying in this negative mindset. So the Knight of Swords energy here, let's look at that for a second. This is very fast-talking person, very frenetic energy. It can mean a lifestyle change sometimes, but what I see is this, embracing your own truth, getting past all the shoulds, taking those keys back for yourself is a big part of how you figure out what you can't figure out, how you get from wanting to having the emotional fulfillment. It's interesting. It should be a very reflective week for you if you allow it to be, to help you get out of some old patterns. Aries, let's see what we have for you in the Oracle deck. We have Voyage. Let's see. Voyage. And let's look that up in the book. This card will... Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Never my intention to burp in your ear. I've been drinking this magnesium drink. Apparently it just made me burp. I'm so sorry. Anyway, This card, Voyage, wants you to know, get ready. You are about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or idea that is coming to life. But most certainly, you are an intrepid traveler, sallying forth into the unknown. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to do or be? This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared. Have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. That is part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. I think that's our key right there. To enjoy the journey as much as the destination. There seems to really be a focus on wanting this emotional fulfillment and sort of staying in this victim space, not seeing the resources you actually do have access to with regard to your growth emotionally toward fulfillment, but just focusing on, I just want to be there. And what this card is adding to the mix here is you need to try, very difficult sometimes perhaps for you initially, but getting easier over time, to enjoy the journey, to appreciate that every step along the path is in fact the journey itself, and the satisfaction and that that deep emotional fulfillment comes from the experience of getting there, not just arriving there. Okay, so I think that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope it's helpful, and I wish you a wonderful week. Thanks for supporting the channel. See you next time. Blessings.